a Saturday edition, spring edition, or nearly spring if it isn't. I don't know. I don't keep track of those things too well. But of Pegcity Soundoff, really happy to have here from the Lazies, Matty Morris. How you doing?
Hi, Peg City, and hi, Thomas. Doing well, buddy. Thanks very much for having me.
No problem at all. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it, or giving us the time, I should say. I do want to mention.
Surely,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was just going to say, surely it's still cold there. it's,
On and
it's
off.
always
One day,
cold. Always
it's
cold.
cold. One day it's cold, and then the next day it's warm. And yeah, it's been on and off for a few weeks now.
Fair one.
Yeah, it's made for a lot of water. There's lots of flooded sidewalks out here and stuff like that.
Oh, so it's not Winnipeg; it's Waterpeg now, eh?
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Really quick before I forget, I do want to mention the sponsors of the podcast that we have. So you can see behind me here, and I'll bring it up on the screen, our monthly sponsor, Prairie Alchemist. So they're located in St. Malo in Manitoba, 163 St. Malo Road. Great cafe to go get some food, get some brunch, breakfast, whatever it is. And they've been a big supporter of the podcast now. Multiple times in a row, they've been the sponsor of the month. So I wanted to give a shout out to them. Also, our sponsor of the year, CDL Architecture and Cladding and Architectural Work. They're always looking for new tradespeople if you want to get involved in the business, or you already have experience in the trades, or if you're just looking to get a project done. They do a lot of work. They're doing a big project right now on Nairn with one of the malls there. So definitely a great place to check out. You can check out their website if you're interested in working with them, whether like I said, through trades or doing a project there. So very good to be talking to you. How have you been? It's been quite some time since we've seen you in Winnipeg.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I know where to get my coffee the next time I'm back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little bit outside of Winnipeg, but definitely still, if you're traveling, it's a good
Okay.
place to stop. St. Malo's a couple hours outside of Winnipeg, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I haven't been there in quite a long time. We used to camp out that way.
oh wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's been a while since I've been to the Peg, and we've got a lot of great memories there. And honestly, we can't wait to get back. We just need to get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
typically,
thanks.
go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I was just going to say thanks very much for having me today.
Oh, no problem.
Uh,
Like I said, it's my pleasure. One of my favorite bands, definitely from outside of Manitoba, is the Lazies. So great to have you
Cheers.
guys on. For those who, so typically we're talking to Manitoba bands here, or even just bands that are coming through Manitoba, playing the local venues. But the reason we're talking to you, for those who might not remember, or maybe weren't going to shows between about 2015, 2019, you guys were, this was a regular stop on your tour, or even if you weren't touring, you sometimes were coming out here
Yeah.
playing some Winnipeg shows between that time.
100%. When we first started to come to Canada, we just were always passing through Winnipeg because you just had to, and it was always. I think we did the pyramid, for a while there.
Yeah.
There was another place. Now you're really testing my memory. The
So
Oak.
the other place you played, that's it, the Oak in Transcona.
Yeah. So
It's called Nashville's now. It's got a different name since then, but it was the Oak when you were playing there back in 2015 at least.
Oh, awesome. And then we did a couple of, I think we did some kind of, there was like a performance unplugged in like a cafe. It was super early at like 9 a.m, and I barely
Okay.
remember that. But I remember the long drive always from Thunder Bay, I think,
Yeah,
right?
that
So,
sounds right.
yeah, but yeah, no, we've always had a great time in Winnipeg, man. Always.
That's awesome. Awesome. And we'll be talking about some of those shows. You played with a lot of great local talent here that are even still around right now. The Bloodshots,
Yeah, the
Extra
Bloodshot Boys.
Merida, Northern
Yeah.
Royals,
Yeah.
Standstill, even Danko Jones, obviously, I want to ask you
Yeah,
about a little bit. But
of course.
so we'll talk kind of the past, present, and future here of the Lazies a little bit then.
No, of
What
course.
has the band been up to though since 2019? I think that was the last time you were here was 2019 at the Pyramid. What's been going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah. So we would have loved to been on the trajectory that we were. Obviously, if things were climbing and climbing and climbing,
Yeah.
and then COVID took the wind out of our sails. But it's, it's not just us. It was like small businesses, large businesses, bands, the whole world, right?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
we yeah, I mean, I'm trying to rewind back in time here, but it was a weird time for us. I had started my journey here in Canada with our singer Leon. We were both living in Canada well before COVID,
Okay.
and then I guess I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, like COVID hit, and like we were in Europe just before that, and like we were playing some really good gigs
Yeah.
and really doing some great stuff. And then basically we just had to retire for a while.
Big
we
hiatus.
yeah we wrote some songs here and there and just worked. A few of the guys flew back to Australia, and like we kind of just parted ways for a while. We always knew that we would be back, and we were still a band, but things obviously were just on the back burner for a while. So um, then we just finally got sorted. We were like,
Yeah.
okay, we need to we really need to get our stuff together again. And we just really kind of started slowly and started, like starting writing, more songs here and there. And then obviously when the restrictions were lifted, because there were restrictions, you couldn't travel, right, during the time.
Yeah.
I think we had planned our first tour back to Canada, start slowly, just a few small towns here and there. And then, yeah, man, things just got going again. And we're crawling our way back.
Well, I think you have been for some time now, definitely. So at the
It's
moment, you've got two songs on the Canadian Billboard for rock music. One that's been on there for
Yeah,
nearly 40 weeks now, with Hot Under the Collar, and then
wow.
one, while that one's been charting, that just came through as well.
Yeah, no, we like, first of all, we can't thank you, Canada, enough. It's it's not just now. Like, you guys have shown us the support ever since we started coming here in 2014. Um, the people, the fans, like the small communities that got behind the band, the big towns that got behind the band. It's
Mhm.
just seems you guys love not only music, but just like the community of music. And yeah, man, like we've had great support from the stations, and especially with the new singles and things. Yeah, look, like in all honesty, like we're very fortunate to even have this chance again to do it. Like, a lot of bands probably didn't come back from COVID. So yeah, we're just very grateful. Yeah.
Awesome. And if I didn't name it, it's "Too Tough to Die" is the newest single that just recently entered the charts there as well. You did
Yeah,
have a couple other songs you released though as well. In 2023, you released "Rattle Them Bones," I believe was the first one, and then "Ripper of a Night" after that.
yeah, and we've kind of touched on, uh, not necessarily the comeback, but we've touched on that occasionally. Like,
Hmm.
Rattle and Bones, that was kind of us coming back too. It was like, have you ever taken a ride in the Devil's Hearse? Like, that was talking
Hmm.
about our bad time, and then just
Yeah.
coming back out of that. Oh, I'm back from the dead. And then, like, the new single "Too Tough to Die" as well. It's like, it's not just about facing that, but you could be facing any struggles and just having the passion and strength to just get through it and just continue. Like, and just having the drive to just stick together and just keep going. And I think that's been one of our greatest strengths over the last nearly 20 years, is just to stick together and just keep going. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And it seems like you've got a great group of guys to obviously do that with. You've been working together
Yeah.
for some time now, so
Yeah, we do.
it's good to see that it's still going. For "Under the Collar," to talk about writing that song a little bit, or releasing that. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
gotten an amazing reception. It's still charting now, nearly 40 weeks. So yeah, talk about that a little bit, writing that one.
So we co-wrote that with our longtime partner in crime, Ian Desar of Billy Talent, and we've been mates with him for a long time. We've been
Hmm.
working with him for a long time. Um, and it was actually it was written during COVID. Like we had been
Okay.
working on it for a long time, so it was always there. And like we loved the main riff, and we struggled a little bit with the verse and the lyrics for a long time, and we went in a few directions, but we just kept coming back to it. It was one of those ones that was kind of good enough not to throw in the like just throw away kind of thing.
Okay.
So we just kept having to push away at it, and I'm glad we did. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. You got
yeah,
some shout out here from the chat as well. Rusty Shackelford earlier was excited to see the Lazies on, and now Ronnie Ladderbrook as well. So
ah.
congratulations on becoming a new father or a new dad.
Oh, that's nice, Ronnie. Cheers, brother. It's definitely been the best thing I've done in my life so far. So, cheers, man. Cheers, Ronnie.
Awesome. Yeah, like
um,
you said, we got a great community out here for sure.
yeah. Can't wait to get back. So
So
yeah, like
did
yeah,
you know with that one though? Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, did you know with that one that was going to be such a success? Because again, it's been doing really well. I was even
you
just
know,
talking to my dad not that long ago. He lives in Saskatchewan, and he was saying that he was hearing it on the radio all the time up there, and it's doing
yeah.
well.
You never do know. And
Mhm.
that's the thing. You just don't. And you just have to give it your all. Like spend a lot of time crafting that song, and like going back over it, and like we're huge fans of you're almost putting the puzzle together. Like it's a
Yeah,
craft. It's a craft. Like songwriting is a craft, and we can spend weeks and months, half a year on one song. So it's like we do our best. And you know what? Like to answer your question, something about the opening riff told me we were onto something.
yeah.
But did I know it'd be on the charts for over 30 weeks? No. You know? Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to ask you about "Too Tough to Die" as well, but you kind of already explained it's
Mm.
uh, kind of the idea of the song or what inspired it. Then.
Yeah, just long story short, like it's just about the struggles of life, and you have them, I have them, like we all have them. It's
Absolutely.
just keep going, man. Head up, and as you guys say here, give a bud.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How has songwriting changed for you guys from when you released your first full album in 2015? I believe that was your first full album, The Lazies,
Wow.
self-titled album there. But yeah, how has songwriting changed, like getting inspired by different things, or what inspires you to write then?
I don't think we've set out to ever change our roots and our like that sound of the Lazies. Like we had
Mhm.
crafted that very young, but it was not till we met Jasaf and Billy Talent, and a few other key players in the puzzle, that we started to really like hone in on it and craft it like even further. You know what I mean? Like it started
Yeah,
to like we started to get better. Essentially, it's because you're just learning from these guys, right? And then now it's how has it changed? Now we know our sound, we know us, we're confident in this in our skin, so to speak. So it's
yeah,
like I'm not showing a riff to Leon and it doesn't sound like the Lazies, right?
yeah.
It's like I know what sounds like the Lazies, and I'll show him that. And then I've got other stuff that doesn't sound like Lazies, and I won't show him that. Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure. And like I said, you guys have been doing it for so long. I don't know if a lot of people realize how long the
Yeah,
Lazies have been together. I don't know about the entire band, but I think it was formed in maybe 2006, 2007, something like that.
yeah. You're actually very spot on. I
Yeah.
met Leon in the late year of 2006, and we
Okay.
didn't really start the band until 2007. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. too
Absolutely.
too tough to die.
Yeah, there it is. See, that's absolutely spot on there. Awesome. And you've mentioned him a couple of times. I did want to ask you about working with Ian Dessa as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've heard you. I don't know if it was you specifically, but I've heard you guys quote him as being the sixth member of the band before, or this being
Yeah.
another one. How did you start working with him? Because there's not that many bands that he's produced for. Obviously, Billy Talent.
Yeah.
But there's not that many others. I think Say Yes was one, Die Mannequin is another one, or Die
Yeah.
Mannequin, sorry.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, how
So,
did you guys get started with them?
uh, a crazy story. Like we had given up. We had been playing in Australia for a long time, and often we
Mhm.
were, to be honest with you, we were playing with like 5 to 8 people, maybe the odd night 40, 50 people. But I always used to say that we were playing to the sound guy, and
Yeah.
no one else really. So um, we threw everything into some plane tickets, and I mean everything. Like we are probably still paying off the debt, and we came over to Canadian Music Week because we had someone introduce us to Canadian Music Week, and we had the opportunity to come over to Toronto in 2014. Um, and it was going to be really tough on us because we had 3 shows to do in under 24 hours, right?
Oh wow.
And if anyone's ever seen our show, it's pretty full on. Like it's not just sitting there. So
Yeah, it's one
we
of your signatures, definitely. It's high energy the entire time.
yeah, lucky we were younger.
Mhm.
But yeah, we stepped off the plane and we were straight into it, man. We did a few warm-up shows in Quebec. Then we hit Toronto and we played the Horseshoe at like 11:30 a.m. or something, and we did like the Australian barbecue thing. Then the
Yeah.
same day we had to come back at like 3 in the morning,
Oh.
and we thought it was going to be empty, and it was pretty empty. But what was important is that the people that were there kind of spread the word, right? So
Yeah.
then our final, no, sorry, yeah, it was around that time. And then the final show was at the Bovine Sex Club, which is just down the street, and that was like 2 a.m. or whatever. And Ian and a lot of people were at that show, so those guys had just probably maybe caught wind of something, but they were just in the crowd at the time, right? So
Yeah.
and then the rest is history. But yeah, no, we got talking to him after that, and he really was stoked on the band, and yeah, things just kind of developed from there.
Absolutely. You've been working together ever since. Like I said, he
Mm.
produced the first album, obviously, the second album as well. A lot of the, or most, I guess, all of the singles that have been coming out then,
Yeah,
right?
the singles and Tropical Hazards. Yeah, yeah. But then also we co-wrote, co-produced the later singles, Hot Under the Collar, and Two Today with a guy called Dave Schiffman out of Los Angeles. He's worked with like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's worked with like he's done the Tom Petty stuff through
Wow.
like yeah, he worked with Rick Rubin for 10 years, and it was just hectic. It was crazy. So yeah, that
There must be a lot of knowledge you get between those two then.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we've been very fortunate enough to work with some very great people within the industry, and I think we only are where we are because of that as well. I think we've grown from these experiences. You know, like the music industry is like any other small industry. It's a big industry, but really it's a small industry, man. Like you've got to just make relationships and friends, and just be humble, be nice, and
Yeah.
just do it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For anybody who's watching, whether they're a producer or in a band or anything like that, is there any advice that you've maybe ever gotten from Ian, or anything that you've learned from him that you would pass along to somebody?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got tons of advice from a lot of people, but for
Mhm.
me, I would say if you're passionate and you love what you're doing, and you're from the smallest town ever or the biggest town ever, like you know, you're gonna like you're gonna have struggles here and there, but just keep doing what you love, and don't worry about have your dreams for sure, like have
Yeah.
your dreams like of that stadium, or have your dreams of making that gold record, and but just honestly just do what you do and do it well, and strive for the very best, and you will get to higher places 100%.
Absolutely. It all kind of falls into place when you're doing that, right?
Yeah, yeah, Coach Maddie here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've got a wealth
Motivational
of experience. You've
speaking
got a
here.
wealth of
Yeah,
experience, so I would definitely say so. So the first time I saw you guys was when you opened for Danko Jones, I believe, at the Oakland
yeah,
Transpo, and I was a big fan of Danko Jones.
yeah,
He's
that's
actually the
right.
first guy I ever saw on stage, probably 2006 or something like that.
Nice.
But he's a wild guy as well. Do you have any stories from that tour, or any cool stories from? I don't know if that was your very first tour in Canada or not, but
Not really. Like I know it was probably our second or third major tour.
okay,
We just had a long tour, man. Like we
yeah,
went all the way from, I think that tour in particular. We were in Toronto for a bit, then we went all the way out to Vancouver, and that included everywhere in between, Winnipeg, Regina, Saskatoon, the whole thing. And
yeah,
then we had to come back from Vancouver playing shows again. I can't remember whether it was Denko on the way back or not, but we had maybe our own shows on the way back, and then we got to Toronto, and then we had to drive all the way out to like PEI, and
oh wow,
and we had this RV, like this camper
yeah,
that slept like 7 or 8 people or something.
wow,
So funny. It was like the tour bus without the tour bus, and
yeah, basically,
it was a long tour, man. And there's a lot of funny stories from that tour, but I either can't remember them and remember some, or yeah, I don't know,
or you
or
don't want to
was too.
incriminate anybody.
But it was a very tiresome run. But yeah, I mean those things are what made the man, and I love going down that path sometimes in my
Yeah.
head, and just, oh yeah, that
Well,
happened, or this happened.
you were nonstop that year, because I think that was in early 2015 or maybe March or something, and then
Yeah.
you were right back here in December. You were
I think
touring with
we were coming to Canada like 3 times a year or
yeah,
something like that. It was wild, man. Like Canada literally was our home away from home, and still is. Like
yeah. You were adopted by Canada pretty quickly. It seemed like.
yeah. And now I'm here, right? And
Mhm.
yeah, and like I've got a life here, my fiance and my kid and everything now, which is
Yeah,
awesome. And it's that wouldn't have happened without the band too. So life works in mysterious ways.
yeah. Like you said, if you're passionate about something, you stick to who you are and just kind of go forward with it.
Yeah.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah, like you never know what comes from that, you know?
For sure. And I did want to ask you about one other Oak show as well. So you played also in a couple of years later in 2018. You guys played with the Wild, which was
Yeah.
an absolutely crazy show. So first thing, a little bit of Winnipeg history here. That was the first show, or first big show anyway, for Exomerita, the band that opened up for both of you guys. They had won
Oh, nice.
a battle of the bands to
Oh,
earn that
awesome.
spot to open up. First night that I
Excellent.
saw them as well. I've been a big fan of them ever since as well. They're still kicking, still going.
Oh, good. Good for you
Yeah.
guys. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're doing awesome. They just released a new single called Meat, actually. They're doing great. But
Sick.
I did want to ask you about that show, because that was a crazy show. People still talk about the Wild and the Lazies back in 2018. Or maybe you can't remember anything from that show, but anything
No,
from
I
that show
can.
you
Yeah,
might
yeah,
remember.
yeah. No, I've probably got the better memory out of the whole band. No, it was good. It was we were on a long tour with the Wild, and
Yeah,
we're longtime mates with those guys, and I remember the drives and the long hours, and sometimes we'd swap vans, and so they'd be in
yeah,
our van and we'd be in theirs, and it was great. Like, and we just like you build friendships on those long
for
tours,
sure.
man. At the start, you're like, oh, you're just getting to know each other, and you kind of just speak to each other at sound check or something, and then after
Yeah,
you have a small drink together. But yeah, I just after a few shows, you guys are like family, right? So and
yeah,
then I think that
absolutely.
shows on stage, between the bands, right?
Hmm. And the
Yeah,
same way that your music has blended in really well with Canadian fans or Canadian music, it's the same thing with the bands. It seems like you guys fit right in with whoever you're touring with,
yeah.
or whoever's
Well,
touring with you, whatever it is.
yeah. Well, it's like Ronnie here. What was he saying? I opened up. Yeah,
He had
see,
opened up that
Leon.
the show in Brandon. It sounds like, or it
Yeah.
looked like.
Um, Ronnie, could that have been the tour where Leon had an asthma attack and had to run off stage?
Oh no.
um, I don't know whether it was that show or not, but what was I going to say? Yeah, you build friendships, and then I think that shows on stage as well, right? It's
Absolutely, it translates for sure.
like the connection between bands,
Hmm. Absolutely. So I did
Yeah.
want to talk about a little bit about Tropical Hazards as well, the album that you released in 2018. Album did
Ah,
really well on Nothing
the
But
old
Trouble. Has
tropical
been,
hazards. Yeah.
yeah, great album. Obviously, Nothing But Trouble did amazing. It's still being streamed a lot. It seems like, for sure. I know I've always got it playing. It's absolutely a great album. How different was it going into that album though than your album in 2015? Because from my understanding, or I've listened to some of your music before that as well. Some of 2015's album, The Lazies, was already written, or you had been playing those songs, it seems like, for a while. So
Yeah.
how different was it going into Tropical Hazards, completely, instead of only writing a few songs for the album, you were completely starting from scratch?
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, like you're kind of right. It's just the long story short, the first one in 2015, the debut, a lot of that stuff, yeah, was older. You kind of work on them for years, right?
Yeah,
Because
they changed a
the
little
songs
bit.
you've been, yeah, and then suddenly you may get signed or something, and then you recall all of these old tracks, right?
Mhm.
So we did that in New York with producers Gus Van Gogh and sorry, it slipped my mind here. His name was Warner F. So those two
Okay.
guys, they were doing the first album. Fantastic guys. And then yeah, you come out of that and you're just kind of touring that for a while. And then the thing is, we were writing straight away, right? So
Yeah.
some of the stuff on Tropical Hazards was newer, but we'd still been crafting it for at least 6 months to a year before we went into the studio.
Yeah.
And then you're fine tuning heavily in the studio on Tropical Hazards, and that was when we really started kind of doing the deep dive in the studio with Desar, and
Yeah.
like we were just working long hours, long days, and I really think it shows. Like I really think we
Absolutely.
got that album shows the band working 12-hour days every day of the week for a long time. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It definitely shows. It's a diverse album too. There's lots of different kinds of songs on there, lots of different
Yeah,
messages, obviously, for sure. With
yeah.
your first album, did Ian work with you to write some of the songs for that
No,
album?
yeah.
Or no?
Shake It, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Shake It Like You Mean It was added after the fact to that
I
album.
think Black Rebel was newer as well at the
And
time.
sorry, and Black Rebel,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a while.
No
But
worries. No, that's
it's
fine.
yeah, we
I
had
was trying to
recorded.
remember which ones were newer and which ones were older. Because yeah, a lot of those songs
Yeah,
you'd already
yeah.
been playing,
We
or
had that's right. So
they
we
were on
had
EPs, or yeah.
Yeah, we had
Sorry.
almost recorded the first album with Gus Van Gogh. That was
Yeah.
completed, and then when the Canada stuff started kicking off, we did Shake It with Ian. Like we wrote it with him, and I think we did Hard Luck with a few of the guys from the Trues, and then
Okay. Cool.
Black Rebel was one of the ones with Ian as well. But
Okay.
then we went out to Vancouver and recorded with Garth. And Garth, he did Rage Against the Machine and all this
Yeah. Wow.
wild stuff, right? So yeah, Garth Richardson, yeah, he's a great guy. So we went out and recorded those two tracks with Hard Luck and Shake It with him.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Great tracks, great tunes, definitely. Well, Tropical Hazards is a great album. I could go song for song here and just talk about each one. I'm not going to do that. Keep us here all day. I do want to ask you about one though. Like I said, it's a diverse album. One song that was had a strong message to it, I think, was the song "Somebody's Daughter."
Yeah,
That's something that we deal with, not just in Manitoba, in the prairies. Obviously, it's a problem in Australia as well,
yeah.
with
It's
missing, murdered Indigenous women, things like that. Like, I wanted, to ask you about that song a little bit, because that one definitely had a deeper message, or kind of a good impact, or good message, I should say. Not a good message, but something to make
no,
people
yeah.
aware of it more, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, as I ramble on.
No, yeah, no, and I think you just said it. Like it's touching on it, not ignoring it, being respectful of it,
Absolutely.
in the best way that it's not like we set out necessarily to do a political issue with that. It was just like, I think Leon, like he was all, he brought it to the band, and it's just like, I can't speak for him, but we've always been respectful of the message behind that song, and I think it definitely needs to be spoken about. And
Yeah.
and I'm so happy and proud of us for putting it out there, you know. And I will forever have the respect for that song, but just obviously what, you know, what's happening behind it too, you know. And it's like, it's a shame that like a lot of these, I'm not just gonna say like women, but like people, you know, everyone, like
Yeah.
these bad things happen, they go missing, and it doesn't get addressed properly, right? So yeah, it's a very heavy thing to talk about, and
For sure.
but by all
But
I
not something
can,
that should be ignored for sure. Something that you
not
do have
something,
to
yeah,
talk about.
exactly. And
Yeah.
we've always liked to do that too. We're very honest songwriters, and so, you know, we're not just writing songs about falling in love, or like, you know, like you know, just like plastic stuff. Like, we've
Yeah.
always been very honest songwriters, where we want to just speak from our heart and speak about the truth, and just express ourselves, right?
Yeah.
um
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think that was a very beautiful way to address what was going on, and still is, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely still a prevalent issue for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So with Tropical Hazards, definitely the music was like you said earlier. It's not something that changes. The lazies are going to be the lazies always, with some
yeah.
great tracks. One thing though that did change with Tropical Hazards was kind of the artwork that you
Oh
had
yeah.
for your album, which obviously
Yeah,
translates to your merch as well.
yeah.
Very different, and ever since then, it's kind of been more unique and kind of more of a certain theme or motif. Go over that as well, how that happened. Obviously, with the first album, it's kind of just you guys on the cover of the album, and now it's more animated
Yeah,
and
yeah. So
cartoonish.
for a long time, we've been super close mates with a really good friend of ours from Sydney, Australia. His name is Cindy, and he's a great artist. And
Absolutely, yes.
he used to he used to play in bands with us years ago, like when we were playing in Australia, like in the club scene, like
Okay.
yeah. And his band Lust, I think, Lust, I think it was at the time, and he just became like, he's an artist now, an amazing artist too. So
Yeah.
um, we just started to bring him we started to bring him on board, and thank God, because he's seen a unique vision for us, I think. And not just that, I think he translated the music into art somehow. Like, for us, it's got a, yeah, I wouldn't know how to explain it. It's got a hard edge, but then it's kind of like, it's almost like a comic style too, and then it's
Yeah.
filled with like bright colors and things like
Yeah.
that,
It's not
right? So
something
it's
that you couldn't wear in like a family friendly environment still at the same time. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, he's great, man. We've worked with him for a long time now. So yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out. He does some amazing work. The Rattle Them Bones, especially, I really liked. That would be a great shirt to get one day.
That Sorry, I just want to give credit. That was another artist,
Oh,
Kyle.
okay. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kyle Wayman. I just wanted to slot that in there.
No,
But
you should. No, I didn't. I had no idea. So that, yeah, wicked work on that as well.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, you know, like the whole band photo on the front, that's great. But it's like,
For sure.
sometimes I feel if it needs a bit more, you know?
Yeah, and especially for a shirt, like this is just my own personal preference, but I'm not big on wearing a lot of band shirts that just have like a guy's face on it. I do, or even if it is just a caricature of the guy, that's a little different. But I do like the kind of like the animation idea, or it's just great to have artists working on it. I mean, he does. They both
Of
do
course.
some amazing work, obviously, and like you said, it's not something that you can exactly explain. It's kind of their own talent and their own understanding of who you are and your music. So.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, what we do with music, they do with art. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
exactly. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. And you've
100%.
got some of the best merch. I would put you guys and a band out of Canada here named the Blue Stones are probably my two favorite bands for merch. Definitely.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Fantastic,
absolutely.
excellent.
So obviously the band's got a lot of signatures we talked about. Crazy energy on stage,
Yeah,
solos, Great music. Another big signature for you specifically is that you have jumped on bar tops across not just the country, but across not just the nation, the world, I'd imagine at this point. I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times playing a solo on a bar top. You're always able to find one that isn't occupied, or make sure it isn't occupied if it already was.
It's been, you know, I've had great bar nights and bad nights like anybody else.
Yeah.
I've fallen off them. I've managed to stay on them. I've played upside down on them. I've been on my back on them. I've been on my stomach on them. I've probably had more free drinks than anyone around. No, it's good. It's all in good fun, and you know, it's just part of the show. And you know, I've always said, my motto's always been like, it should be like a circus. People love going to watch a circus, right? It's about entertainment, right? Sure, the music's there, like the music's there.
Showmanship, yeah.
Entertainment. That's what people love, man. And it's like, if we can, you know, let you guys leave that night knowing you guys had the best time of your life, like that's amazing. Like for us, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it should be like a circus. You pay your money, you come and have the best time of your life, and then you leave and you're like, wow, that was sick. So maybe, you know, like, yeah, we've always had fun on stage and on the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. And it leaves, I mean, just showmanship in general just leaves more for people to remember, right? For people to remember who you guys are if they've seen you for the first time and want to play your music or want to go see you again.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
So with the bar tops, did that happen by accident where you just spontaneously did that one night, or how did that become a signature for you?
I think we had previously spoken about it
Okay.
a long time ago, like when the band was forming, 2006 kind of stuff. Like I've been doing it for a long time, 2006 or something.
Okay.
You know what? I actually busted my face open on one time, eh?
I believe it. I believe it.
London, Ontario. I had
really?
like 5 stitches from here to here, from this nostril to this nostril. It was like I had one big nostril, and I was all of a sudden my guitar was wet, like on the bar, and I was like, I haven't had no one's thrown a drink or passed me a drink.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't had a drink. Why is my guitar so wet? And it was blood, man. And I was like, oh, this is hectic.
That's rock and roll right there.
And what had actually happened, because I lose myself in those moments. I get so up. I just lose myself. And what had happened is I hit my head on one of the lights, and it split me across here. And then Leon and I think Leon accompanied me to the emergency room.
Yeah, it's just what you want when you're touring, eh?
I was like, thanks, Mom. Thanks for bringing me. No, he was fantastic. And we were there for like 6 hours or something, man. And then we got it back on the RV and did the next show the next night. And I had all these crusty stitches and scabs everywhere.
Sleep with your face up off the pillow, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't put your head down.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to finish that line, but yeah.
No. Awesome. Well, yeah, it's amazing thing, and like I said, it's something that people are going to remember every time that they see you. Even if they don't remember the name of the band, they're going to say, "Yeah, I remember that one band had the guy jump up on the bar top and knock the chandelier down." So
it's just fun, man. Yeah, it's just fun, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So you've got so many new songs now. Do you guys still work in? I guess I don't know if you've been playing in a while. I guess, but. Would you be planning on working in old songs still in the sets? Like, we
always do. Like, we touch on our older stuff too, 100%. It does get to a point, like you're right, where the new songs are just, there's so many like newer songs that have done well that we have to play them as well.
It's fair, yeah.
But yeah,
like Union of the Underdogs is great, but it hasn't been on the radio in Canada for the way Tropical Hazard songs were, or what's going on right now.
That one we actually haven't played since like 2006
Yeah, I remember I tried to get you guys to play it at a show, but you just laughed me off on that one. I think Leon was surprised anyone was asking for it.
Yeah, exactly.
In Winnipeg.
Yeah, it's that was like one of our very first, actually. Yeah, wow. Now we're going back.
Yeah, that's a great tune. You might have to re-release that one day.
Thank you.
For sure. Awesome. Well, it's been great talking to you. I know I asked you what's been going on previously. What's the future looking like for the band? I know that you're going to be touring in, I think, September. You're going to
Yeah,
Europe
yeah,
and the
Europe.
UK.
Yeah, yeah, we're doing Europe. We're working on more announcements, more shows. So stay tuned. It's just we're always working, man. We're continuing to write, and we're just like I think these days, like we've spoken about this a few times, but it's like we would love to do an album, but it's just so expensive, and
For
we don't
sure.
have a label. Like we really don't have a label right now. Like the
Yeah.
last two singles were funded by our fans. Thank you for that, via Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and I think the way the future is just just releasing tracks here and there for us until we can
For sure.
not we got the songs. It's just about being
Yeah.
able to have the support to release an album, right? So
No,
yeah,
absolutely. And a lot of bands are starting to go that direction, just kind of releasing singles as opposed to
yeah,
full albums. Like obviously you guys were releasing singles leading up to the albums that you guys have released, but
yeah,
that
of
was something
course,
I was
yeah.
going to ask you, if that was something that you guys were talking about, maybe doing singles more than a full album, but I think
Yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
just answered it.
Yeah. And there's not I'm not saying that we won't. Of course, like it's just
No, for sure.
let's just address each day as it comes.
Not that, for the record, things are going too poorly right now. Those two
Yeah,
singles you just released are doing great.
yeah,
So especially
yeah.
out
No,
here.
thanks. But in all honesty, we can't wait to get back to Winnipeg. We love you guys, and we haven't been to Winnipeg in a long time. Um, So yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. Not really looking forward to the cold weather in Winnipeg, but yeah,
It
no, we're
depends on what time of the year you come here. Yeah, definitely. Danko Jones hadn't been here in a really long time, and then he finally got booked, and he's like, my tour manager books me for February in the middle of the week.
Go
So yeah,
figure,
that's
right?
one
Yeah,
thing that's tough to avoid. It was a sold out show though. He had nothing to complain about, I don't
yeah,
think.
yeah. Excellent, excellent,
Awesome.
fantastic.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap things up here. It's been great talking to you, Maddie. Really appreciate you taking the time. And
No, man.
you're
Yeah,
certainly
yeah.
welcome back. All of you guys, welcome back to Winnipeg anytime. I know a lot of people who've been waiting for a lazy show for a while now.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and honestly, we'll be back, and we can't
For sure.
wait. And take care, stay safe until then.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll have you back on here as well when you have an
Oh, for
announcement.
sure. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a
All
great
right.
one.
Thanks very much, Tom.